Hi guys, and welcome to the Game Changer Show. Today we have special guest Donte Walker. Stay tuned, watch until the end. I'm sure you will love it. Hello.
How you doing? Hello.
Good, not bad. How are you doing? How is situation with the market right now?
Yeah, well, me personally, I feel that, these things go in cycles. So we can't be going up all the time. Like it's like these cycles, they go up, they go down. And actually, started like in crypto. We can get into like my whole story and this kind of thing, but I actually started in crypto. And so I actually had like a pretty like sound like mindset when it came to like taking profits and doing all these things with NFTs. And also as well, like I was very aware when we were going through like these massive, like these insane like evaluations you'll see an NFT like mint, and we worked like $10,000-$20,000 or something crazy like this. So I have been aggressively taking profits like the whole way and been taking money and putting it into like stable coins and USDC and this kind of thing, because I knew that this would come. And then now that we're in this market, I do think that there will be like opportunities to get great projects. But I thought that this was inevitable, like this was always going to happen. Inevitable, inevitable, I always say that wrong. But I always thought that this was always going to happen. And we're kind of like seeing the fallout of this now, because I think personally, like we were in this kind of like just this mania psychosis phase. And then now that like things are balancing out, and I think it'll go back. Like crypto, goes up, it goes down, and it does it over time. But in these times we will, we'll see who's really here, right? We'll see who's here for the long term. So yeah.
Right. When have you started in crypto space, by the way?
When and how? Yeah. So I started in crypto, I believe like late 2019, early 2020, something like this. So like before I got into like crypto and things like this, I actually built a bunch of like e-commerce brands and things like this. Actually, I had built like those brands too. Like some of those brands were like 7-figure brands. And actually, so like this was like in like.
Did you do drop shipping?
Yeah, I did. I did it like on a like a really big scale, like back in 2016. Like this was crazy. Like you can actually like if you Google like Donte Walker e-com or drop shipping, like we were doing like 30K days, a 4K ad spend and stuff like that. So it was.
How
insane.
come I didn't buy your course at that time? Because at that time I was crazy buying these drop shipping courses.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I probably knew a lot of the people. I'm pretty sure you knew like Becker back then. He had like HCOM 2020. That was like his big Becker. Devin Zander, Steve Tan comes from dropshipping. I used to know like Steve Tan back then. A lot of guys from dropshipping actually in NFTs now. Weirdly enough, like I didn't know we did that. I didn't do it on purpose, but like I made a lot of money in dropshipping like early 2016, as I said, and from like 2016 to like I guess like 2020, it's like that really changed my life. Like that was really like. Like before then I was like, 19, 20 or whatever, like living in my mom's house. And then like I like started making all this money traveling. That's why I'm in Thailand right now, right? But I had started to travel, wanted to see the world. And I actually had like one of the brands that we had, I had like a company sharing. We took the company, it was doing like 10 or 15 grand per month. And then our first month we did like 150,000 USD with that company. So like they wanted me at that company. And I basically at some point like I sold my shares in that company and I just started like building these other brands, and it just got boring. Like like dropshipping now is just like so strict with like Facebook ads, and like things started to change, and I was just like tired of dealing with that. And I was just like, I'm gonna take this money and put it into crypto, and I started doing like really well in crypto. Like I guess like 2020. Like I technically bought some back then, but I don't even remember like how much I bought. Like I wouldn't say I was in crypto, but I did buy a little crypto like way back then. But it's like a little like such a small amount. I just was like. Because it was just so hype at the time, like it was just like, this was like 2017 or whenever that was. But I really got into it like heavy, like learning it like really heavy. Like I started studying it like 2019 and like really started like learning it really, really heavy like 2020 and stuff like that. And I spent that whole year, and then we got like a bunch of results, and we were like doing like really, really well with the crypto trading and stuff like that. And then I got into like NFTs and started doing well with that. But I had already like a lot of the stuff, like no matter what, you'll notice like once you're like more successful at one business, it's not that much of a difference like between like, like the principles that make you successful in one thing than another. It's all about like building a team, like finding a product market fit, and building a team, finding a product market fit, and like communicating to your potential audience and things like this, why this product, why this NFT or whatever like fits your particular thing. So it's really, especially because it's all like really digital marketing anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like how I got into it, and that was in 2020, like really heavy. Started getting like really crazy results. And the DWC fan, we have like millions of dollars in results from like from between like crypto and NFTs from like my group and like some of the whitelist opportunities and stuff like that. But we've been like crushing it, and I've been happy to do that. So it's been awesome. So that's my whole little story.
Nice. So currently you are more into NFTs, right?
Yeah, I would say so. The growth was just much more explosive on NFTs. Like for example, I had a crypto channel first and all this kind of thing. Something weird is going on with YouTube right now, but I had a crypto channel first, and that did well. And like people kept telling me like make a Twitter, do this and do that. And I finally like made a Twitter, and then I started like talking about NFTs, and I just noticed like the videos like took off so quick, and the Twitter was like like Twitter's like, I think in the first month on Twitter, it was like 50K followers or something like that. So it was like insane. And like, I just think that the growth was a little bit more explosive, and people needed it because I feel like NFTs is a less mature market. Like if you make like NFT videos or like crypto videos, it's always like BitBoy already has millions of subscribers. You got like Benjamin Cohen, who also has millions of subscribers. You don't really have like, if you look at NFT channels, the biggest one we have is like NFT Verse and maybe Giancarlo. Those are like the two biggest ones in there, like maybe at 100K. So it's a smaller market. It's more mature. It's easier to take a part of like the market share and the people in it. So that's why I really focus on NFTs, because it was like more at the beginning versus like crypto was a lot more mature, a lot more competition and these kind of things. So yeah, but I did both though. But yeah, but now I focus more on NFTs.
Can you tell me what exactly you're doing? You're like collecting NFTs, or you flipping, trading? What are you doing with NFTs?
What am I doing? You mean like in my personal strategy? Like on NFTs right now?
Are you just collecting them, or are you actually making money from NFTs?
Definitely.
Like I know people making so much money from flipping NFTs.
Yeah, definitely making like money from them. Like some of them, like I break down like two different like strategies and this kind of thing. Like so, like there's some projects that are hold longer term that just have like utility for my business. If you guys don't know, like I run a alpha group, people say, or alpha community. It's about like 750 of us. We have 250 diamond, which is a premium, and then we have 500 carbon, which is like the I wouldn't say not premium, but it's just a different like face, right? So there's two different ways that I look at it. Like for me right now, our NFT is going to be like generating like Jira token or this kind of thing. So for me, when I held like God Jira, like they granted me a mint, and that mint went all the way up to like $60,000, like at the top, right? Like that one NFT was worth like 60K. But in this case, I didn't sell that NFT because like for my brand, I knew that I was going to be working with like God Jira, like longer term and this kind of thing. And I didn't sell that NFT just because it wasn't really about the quick money or the quick flip for me, but because of like that long-term business relationship and the relationships that I've got like introduced to through them and all these different things, that actually makes more sense to me. So in my specific case, there are some NFTs that I hold longer term, but not like really so much. Mostly I flip like most of them, I would say, especially in this market, just because of the risk assets. And also as well, I think a lot of like projects and stuff like that, like projects seem to condemn flippers. Like I don't think there's like for example, like there's a difference between like flippers and like paper hands, like people who just like paper hand the floor down. Like I'm not one of those guys, but like flippers, if you don't have flippers, your project will die. And a lot of people are going to be wishing they had more flippers right now. You know what I mean? Because their volume is driving up. Like flippers is like the lifeblood of your business, actually, if you're an NFT, because you need people like trading and making transactions so that you can actually stay afloat, right? A good portion of it for me is just doing that, like, identifying, like maybe it'd be like DGen mints or something like that, or like we have like different tools and things that we use, or obviously like through the brand we're able to like allocate, or excuse me, not allocate, but I guess allocate like different like really high level brand whitelists that we attract to the community, and then we give them out to our community members, NanoPass, PXN, Imaginary Ones, Trippin' Ape, Just Apes, like a bunch of different stuff, like literally so many I can't really remember, millions of dollars like worth of NFTs and opportunities. And especially when we combine it with our the crypto trading stuff. But flip most stuff, but there are some things that hold longer term. Like for example, like we have some members that hold like doodles longer term, like some doodles in there, like some different members. So it just really depends on your situation. But I would say for the most part, for most people, it probably makes like most sense to flip. And again, that's not bad. Like again, like paper hands is that shit sucks. But I think flipping is really good for projects and really good for individuals as long as everyone makes money. Because obviously the project makes money when you flip because you need volume. Because if you don't have volume, you're done. You're dead, right? So yeah, that's how I kind of look at it. Like I have some long-term stuff, and then I have like flipping. Well, flipping is definitely most of it, especially right now in this market when everything is just so bearish.
Okay, nice point. And actually nowadays, CDFI is about to launch NFT marketplace, so we should get some advices from you, because you're pro in it. So are you part of any hyped NFT project? I don't know, like maybe Goblin Town or Bored Ape.
Mm-hmm.
Are you part of any that hyped projects? And by the way, what do you think of Goblin Town NFT? Like why it got so popular at some point?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't actually make sense. Like if you think about it, there's no reason. Like it's just like everybody's flipping. Like you have to really understand as well. Like again, this is just the reality. Most of NFTs is just like I would say like 90% plus. It's like people just like trying to make money and sell something higher for what they bought it for. Like that's probably like 90% of the market. And I would say like somebody in my group that actually like really put it well. They were just like right now legit projects are not doing good. Like it's just all about these like DJ mess. Like you have like a project that has like, ex Facebook, X like this kind of person that's been working and like really experiencing this kind of thing. And then you just see something like Goblin Town go to like 13 ETH and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's just like something catches like NFTs are very momentum based like assets. So like once it catches fire, it's catching fire because it's catching fire. Everyone's buying because they're FOMOing, and then it's like a self-reinforcing like mass psychosis until like somebody bought, like that last person buys at the top and then everybody's trying to sell and get down. So I don't think it necessarily makes sense. I think that like some projects just catch on just because of like timing. And I think a lot of it is just like timing and luck more than that. Like, for example, like you can have a good NFT project that gets like a good amount of traction, but like to become like a Goblin Town or like a Bored Ape Yacht Club or something like this, I think that shit is like just luck. Like to be honest, like it's just like like dumb luck and timing. Like I'll give you an example. If Bored Ape Yacht Club came out today, do you think that it would do like how it is now? Almost certainly not. But because of the timing in the market when it came out and these kind of things, they were able to establish that dominant brand and these kind of things. Like a lot of it is, again, like it's just timing and these kind of things. They did a good job capitalizing on it, but now it's just obviously a lot more competition and things like this. And again, like Goblin Town, I just think it's just like a momentum thing, but it doesn't necessarily make sense. And I don't think you should really try to make sense of it. It's just like, you just catch a trend and these kind of things. But
yeah, absolutely agree with you. It's just the right timing. Where do you see NFT in the future? Like how it's gonna be? Is it gonna be the same level? Like we're just going to have some kind of JPEGs and that's it, or it's gonna be something bigger? I mean, for sure it's gonna be something bigger, but I just want to know your opinion. Where do you see the future of the NFT?
Like I think NFTs is such a new class. Like for example, if you really look at like Bored Ape, you can say Bored Ape, and again, Bored Ape is going through a bunch of controversy right now. But if you look at like Bored Ape, this is what a lot of people consider the number one NFT project. And if you look at Bored Ape, you would say that they're the number one project, but they've only been around for like 1 year, right? Like a little bit over a year to this day. So the market is so new; it's really hard to really give any like accurate like predictions of like how they will be around and in what fashion. I do think there's some novelty in like the like incremental of like, for example, if you look at like the way that, what do you call it, like real estate and titles on houses is done. Obviously, that's really, the NFT technology is really useful in that industry because again, like I was actually talking to I actually interviewed this real estate guy. He's like done like millions and millions of dollars of like really like highest level real estate in like New York and New Jersey and this kind of thing. Whole family is in real estate, and he's like taking this NFT like and like really like he's going and talking to like Princeton and shit like that. He went to school at like these crazy schools, and he was like just breaking it down. Like when you have a real estate deal, and let's say you want to buy a house or you want to buy a condo, you want to buy something like this, right? You have to like trust all this information that this person is giving you, right? Like for example, if you have all this information on a ledger, you say, hey, I have this apartment building and it's generating, $10,000 per month in profit, and here are the numbers and things like that. If you have all the information on the ledger and these kind of things with the NFT technology, that can be altered. You don't have to hire a lawyer or things like this to like go through and do the due diligence, because it's all there. You can see the transactions. You can see if the people are paying on time. You can see all this kind of information. And also as well, if I want to transfer my title from one person to you just send it on a ledger and now it's in your title. So it has like a really advantage in certain industries, right? But as far as like I think that has a real thing. But as far as the like PFP, like collections, how we see it now, I think probably like 95 of those to 99% are probably going to die. Like you're going to have like those 1% that go on and become like, for example, I think CloneX has a chance. I think Bored Ape, if they can like get through this controversy, has a chance, because CloneX literally
is nice one.
Yeah, Zuki, but yeah, fuck it. Let's get controversial. So the guy, like the guy behind it, like he got like caught rugging or whatever. Like again, allegedly, but I mean, at this point, it's pretty much out there. So the guy behind Zuki started a bunch of different projects and all this different kind of stuff, right? You buy Zuki, that's fine, whatever you believe in it, that's cool. You're right. I'm wrong. I'm just speaking my opinion. But Azuki will be one of me, but I think that'll be hard to get over with the founder being caught up with all this stuff. But I think Azuki is another one. You have Doodles. I think we have Doodles. So I think these like top 5 projects, they have a chance. But again, I think like 90 to 95%, like probably 99% of them, it's not going to like last. And I think whatever NFTs look like in the future is going to be like so different from anything that we recognize today that we just won't be able to tell the future. It's kind of like in the past, like, how could you predict that Google was going to be the #1 like company in the internet? Like you probably would have been like, oh, it's going to be like Netscape or some shit like that. And like now we have Google and YouTube, and so it's so new. It's such a new forefront that these kind of things are like harder to predict. But we have to like go to the top 1% collections that have the actual best chance of actually succeeding. I would say you'll have some random stuff that comes out here and there, but yeah, that's how I see it. I just watch it. It'll be interesting to watch.
What about metaverse? Do you have any digital assets? I don't know, like a yacht or some land at Sandbox. I don't know.
You said, what about Metaverse? Metaverse is actually funny. So, all right, so you guys can actually go on my channel. So maybe I'll link it, but I actually made a whole video breakdown like a month before Metaverse came out. And I said exactly what was going to happen, and people got pissed. And then I won Metaverse. I sold it for $40,000, and exactly what I said. Like for example, in the video, I broke down like a bunch of different like aspects. And this was when the crypto space, the NFT space was less mature. Then this was like 6 or 8 months ago again. As I said, the #1 NFT project in the space is like only 1 year old. So 6 months ago, the market was even a lot less mature than it is today, right? So even if you look at like 6 months ago, the shit that I was saying was like crazy. I was like, I was basically like breaking down. I was just like, guys, like, I broke down like some of the stuff that I was seeing like in the Metaverse Discord, and I was just like, there's like very little community building going on. Like they don't really have any or these kind of things. So I like broke down these things, and I broke down a bunch of different examples of like projects when they launch. And there's this one quote that I like to live by in this space, right? And there's like, it says, how much optimism is factored into the price of an asset. So I got this from a dude who's a billionaire. His name is like Mark Howard. And everything that we think that we're doing in the NFT space, in the Web3 space, we think that it's new, but it's really not. It's not new at all. Like if you look at before Web3, there was Web2. Before Web2, there was Web1. And all these things, it's just all human psychology and these kind of things. But Web3 is human psychology just scaled up really, really fast, right? So if you look at like something like Metaverse, at that time, Metaverse was the most, I mean, they had like over 150K Discord, which at that time was unheard of, all this hype and expectation. So the thing is, when you have, and you see this with every NFT project, when you have hype up here, you have expectation up here, there's very little for the price to go. Like, for example, if you have a project and it's 8 ETH before reveal, it's not like it's going to reveal and go to like 80 ETH. Your upside is very limited, right? So I was just like breaking down all these different factors, and I was just like, I think that there's too much expectation on this project, too much expectation, too much hype that it like very easily cannot be lived up to. And then obviously that happened, and I ended up winning the thing, and then I sold it on YouTube. And again, like I literally sold, like I was like, look guys, I just made like $42,000 in like 3 minutes. This is how I did it. And then like I showed the transaction, and everybody was in the comments like, bro, it's gonna be the next blue chip. You don't know, to the moon, this kind of thing. You don't know what you're doing, all this shit. And then like a week later, the thing like dropped like 90%. All the FUD came out because again, it was like, like, and it's just like, yeah, like, well, what do you expect? You think it's gonna reveal and go to like 90 ETH in a week or something like that? And then it never really came back. So Again, it's just like just being realistic about it. It's just funny. Like it's funny you said that about metaverse. It's just my little story. But about about like land and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I probably will wait a little bit until I buy land. So I have some friends who like done really, really well. They're like building clubs in the metaverse and stuff like this. I have friends who bought like a piece of land for like 6 ETH and then he sold it for like 140 grand or something like that. And they're really good at land and stuff. So before I buy land, I would actually consult those guys. But I haven't really like got into the land and stuff because again, these are like such like risk on assets and these kind of things, and they're just really hard to like really know. But I'm into it though. I'm into it. It makes sense. But it's just like which like again, they say metaverse too. Like metaverse just really means just like virtual reality game or just game. Like we just use this word metaverse and it's just really game, you know?
Exactly. Like nowadays, when we look at Sandbox and Decentraland, it doesn't look like metaverse. It looks like a Minecraft game, you know? To me, in my vision, metaverse, when you wear VR glasses and you're like completely in a different reality and you can have fun, you can relax. But what we see nowadays, it's not, in my opinion, it's not 100% metaverse. And I expected to see something more than that. It's like the movie, you know, this movie.
I think it's where the term metaverse came from.
Yeah, probably.
Is it Tron? I know it's like the original movie in a book that the word metaverse came from, but I don't remember. But I watched a documentary about it. I think I know.
I think the word metaverse was initially from the Matrix. No.
Maybe something like that though. Yeah, like something like that's more like a metaverse, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So
but you know, Cdfi actually has building in Sandbox, and when I knew, I was like, guys, we have a building. Why we don't party there? Because you know, I've never seen my colleagues, only like on Zoom and Google Meet, but I've never seen them in real life. And I'm like, at least like if we go to metaverse, I can see them. Like, how tall are they? You know, something like that.
Yeah. Do you hold any land out there in the metaverses?
No, unfortunately. I really want, but I don't know, like, how would I use that? Unless I just wait until price goes up and I resell it. But like in the personal way, how can I use that? I still don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like why Snoop Dogg has a mention in Sandbox?
Because they probably gave it to him and paid him for promotion. That's the real answer. But yeah, for the games, you just don't know which one is gonna. I mean, you have Sandbox, you have Decentraland, you have Mirandus, you have all these different ones. So I kind of want to like see which one plays out to see which one is actually going to be the forefront. And then because even if you buy good land, but the metaverse doesn't work out, then you're just kind of like left holding the bag. So I would like to see like it mature a little bit more. And as you said as well, like these metaverses that we call them, they're just really just video games. So let's see how that plays out.
Right. And what do you think about blockchain gaming? Are you bullish on that? Do you even play any blockchain games?
I played one. Yeah, I played one. We just did an AMA like 2 or 3 days ago in my group with called BF Party. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's a blockchain. It's a blockchain game, and they're like integrated with NFTs. And we actually did like a whitelist competition for like people who like won and stuff. So I played some here and there. It was cool. My thing is that I think for like again, like realistically speaking, I think that blockchain gaming, like just gaming, first of all, right? So if you just take the blockchain away from it, it's extremely difficult to make a game that a lot of people play, period. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, that's a hard task to do. Like to create like a really big game, like any game that you've ever heard of, to like get to the level where people know a game, it's like extreme, like it's like a 1% top 1% thing. So without even adding the NFTs or anything on top of that, right? So I think whatever project does, whatever project does this, I think that one, it's going to have to just be like a solid game first, and probably not like, if you ask the average gamer as well, like there was a Diablo 3 where they like added like NFTs or something like this, and people really didn't like it, or this kind of like gamers tend not to like it when you add like play to earn mechanics and this kind of things like in their game. So I think whatever company is going to succeed, they just have to make a really good game, and maybe they can have NFTs in it, but it's not like a primary focus where like you're dealing with like tokens and again, if you have a game that does that, that's totally fine. I'm not saying your game can't work. I just haven't seen it done yet, and this is just like my own personal opinion. Whatever you think is right, I'm wrong. I'm just saying my opinion. But if you say like about the tokens and stuff like that, I just think it adds like so much layers of complexity on top of like just trying to like make a game that is actually good. Then I think, excuse me, it adds so much layers of complexity on top of like just trying to make a game that's good. It just makes it a little bit more difficult. So I think that whoever like creates this game that's going to like work in this NFT game, I think that first it has to just be a good game and not shove crypto and the blockchain down people's throat. And then maybe you have like some kind of like transactions or something like this that you can do, like, oh, you want new skins, or oh, you want a new car, something like that. Then that's something that you can do. But it's not like as soon as you get in, you need tokens, you need NFTs, you need this kind of stuff. I just think like for mass adoption, that's probably not going to work. Like realistically speaking, especially like most people, they just don't care enough to like go do research about MetaMask, about this, about that, about buying it. Like, why am I paying $3,000 for one character in a game? Like, that's insane. Like the average person it's just difficult, you know. So yeah, I think whichever one does it just has to, again, just be a good game. Maybe they don't even know it's an NFT game at first. Maybe it's just like, okay, cool, this is a cool game, and then like you found out, oh shit, they got NFTs, and what is that? Like, you know, and then you kind of get into it there. But
right.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
All right. You have a good one.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.